Hi, warm greetings to everyone. Welcome to Becoming Better, a channel dedicated to sharing valuable knowledge for personal growth through inspiring and meaningful books. Have you ever had an experience like this? Today, you feel incredibly happy because your morning was highly productive. You focused on completing an important task, achieved satisfying results, and didn't feel tired at all. Or perhaps, while reading a book you truly enjoy, you poured all your energy into it, forgetting everything around you, as if time had stopped. Once you finished, you felt an immense sense of joy and fulfillment. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi calls this state of complete immersion the optimal experience or flow. He describes flow as a state where, when an individual fully focuses on a particular activity, they experience a sense of exhilaration and deep satisfaction. Every action and thought flows seamlessly, like water running in a stream, unlocking their full potential. Flow acts as a catalyst for personal growth and self-improvement. When you enter the flow state, you encounter the most powerful version of yourself. If you're on a journey to improve and elevate yourself, I truly believe this book will be an essential resource for you. Now, let's dive into today's topic from Becoming Better: the fastest way to upgrade yourself through the modern psychology masterpiece, Flow. Step through the doorway of focus and return to your true self. In his book Limitless, Jim Quick conducted a survey and found that most successful executives reported that they could often maintain peak performance states. During such moments, their productivity was 4 times higher than the average. This peak state is what we know as the flow experience. In his book, the author mentions a case study. A regular worker on an assembly line at a factory found his job to be very dull. He often daydreamed during work, worrying about things like a flat tire or household repairs, and sometimes remembering the latest rumors he'd heard. He frequently couldn't keep up with the pace of his colleagues. Later, he was reprimanded and had his wages deducted. His work was far from smooth. On the other hand, there was another worker who truly enjoyed his work. He was not distracted by idle chatter and was fully immersed in his tasks. Every day, he looked forward to coming to the factory, diving into his work with enthusiasm. He continuously thought of ways to finish his tasks faster and better. Normally, it took about 43 seconds to assemble a unit, but in his quest to break the record, he focused intensely every day. Gradually, he could maintain his concentration without being distracted, and eventually, he reduced the assembly time to just 28 seconds. He received recognition and praise from his supervisors. From this story, we can see that 2 workers in the same environment with the same conditions had completely different results. The difference lies in one worker's ability to block out distractions and maintain focus, experiencing the flow state, while the other could not. Russian educator Ushinsky once said, "Focus is the only door to our soul." Everything in your consciousness must pass through focus before it can go deeper within. This means that focus is the foundation of all mental activities and the key to unlocking your brain's potential. Without the ability to focus, you lose connection with your inner self, making it impossible to understand your potential, your future, or your life's mission. Furthermore, as the author mentions, the disorder in our lives often stems from this lack of focus. Studies show that whenever we engage in tasks without focusing, it creates a phenomenon called entropy, or mental chaos. Entropy disrupts your mind, leading to a fragmentation of your consciousness, which lowers your learning and work performance. Therefore, to develop ourselves, we need to counter entropy by increasing the frequency and intensity of our flow state experiences. The first key element to enter the flow state is total concentration. When you practice complete concentration on one task, it can be said that nearly every bottleneck in your life will be removed. You'll enhance your capabilities, making focus a core, irreplaceable skill. In fact, your life will become much happier. This isn't an exaggeration. I'll share how I've personally developed my concentration skills over the years. There are 4 strategies that can help anyone improve their focus. Rhythm strategy. In this strategy, we schedule dedicated time for deep focus as a daily habit. For example, you might set aside 90 minutes every morning without any phone usage, giving your full attention to a task. If any worries arise, write them down, put them away, and remind yourself to focus entirely on the task at hand during the designated time. Peak strategy. This involves alternating between deep work and lighter, less demanding tasks. For instance, dedicate 4 days to focus entirely on an important task and use the remaining 3 days for less mentally demanding work. Monk strategy. In this strategy, we isolate ourselves from the outside world, similar to how monks live, cutting off all distractions. This approach is often suitable for those in creative fields. Journalist strategy. This strategy, which I found to be the most challenging but also the most effective, enables us to switch between high-focus work and other activities seamlessly throughout the day. When you master this strategy, your ability to concentrate will be stronger than ever, helping you achieve high performance and engage deeply in every activity with conscious awareness. I used to struggle with focus, especially if there was noise around me. I needed to lock myself in a quiet corner to work or read effectively. However, after moving to a new living and working environment, I found that I no longer had large blocks of time to concentrate fully. I had to juggle studying, working, and reading, which became a significant challenge. I believe many of you face similar struggles, as today's fast-paced world has fragmented our time. Therefore, developing the ability to focus anytime is crucial. The key to helping me achieve this is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness in eating, walking, brushing teeth, dressing, and in every small action throughout daily life. Every moment becomes an opportunity to connect deeply with the present. Mindfulness means being fully aware of every action you take in the here and now. When you have focused attention on the present moment, in every little task, you will gradually find it easier to focus entirely on your work. If you can focus your mind fully, you will experience the joy of losing yourself in the task. The higher the level of focus, the greater the sense of satisfaction, which leads to a positive feedback loop. Over time, you'll notice that you're no longer distracted by external complexities, unaffected by irrelevant information. This internal joy acts like a booster, helping you combat the chaos of the outside world and relieving the inner turmoil. Every action in life requires you to step through the door of focus and return to your true self. This is the first thing I want to share with you, to focus fully and immerse yourself in the flow state. From there, you'll improve work efficiency, develop your potential, progress continuously, and most importantly, experience profound internal joy. In addition to building a high level of focus, the second core factor that allows you to experience the flow state is the ability to engage fully in one task. The question here is, what kind of task can you fully dedicate yourself to? The author points out that the flow state only occurs when you are doing a task that is neither too easy nor too difficult. If it is too hard, you will give up. If it is too easy, you won't be motivated to do it. The book Awakening the Awareness emphasizes that the best area for learning and growth is the edge of your comfort zone. This means you need to step out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself a bit, but not too far. You should work within a region close to your comfort zone, where tasks are within your control and can flow naturally. While doing the task, you should feel at ease, not frustrated, and when you finish, you should receive quick feedback and feel a sense of satisfaction. This satisfaction isn't just surface level. It's a deep, internal sense of fulfillment. This means the task you're doing should create harmony between your mind and actions, without causing internal conflict. For example, if you force yourself to make a lot of money with a job that you deep down resent, even if you perform excellently, you won't experience deep satisfaction. You might only feel temporary fulfillment due to dopamine release, which drives you to continue striving for higher status or respect. But once you achieve these, you will still feel empty. As the author says, pursuing excessive greed will never lead to the flow state. Therefore, choose a task not driven by desire, one that is challenging but not too hard. In this way, you can fully immerse yourself in the task. When combined with intense focus, you'll feel like time disappears and even forget yourself, as if you're floating in a flow. However, some might ask, isn't it only the tasks we love that allow us to fully engage? What about tasks we dislike? I really like a quote from Anne of Green Gables. If you decide to have a good time, you always can. If you decide it won't be fun, it won't be. The author advises that you should find work that you love and are passionate about so that you can fully engage and easily enter the flow state. In reality, if you are fortunate enough to do the work you are passionate about, that's wonderful. Take advantage of it and keep nurturing it. But, of course, not everyone has the chance to easily do what they love. In this case, if you don't know what you like or haven't found your ideal job, the best advice is to follow the wisdom in the book The Unwritten Laws of Life. If you can't change your fate, learn to love the job you have. Author Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi also concluded that you don't need to focus on external circumstances. Just change your internal mindset, and you can decide to be happy or sad. This means that even with a mundane job, as long as you focus fully on it and create flow experiences, you can make it interesting and meaningful to yourself. In other words, negative emotions such as boredom, laziness, and lethargy don't come from the task itself, but from your false beliefs and subjective judgments about it. In fact, even with work you don't enjoy, you can still find joy by fulfilling two conditions. Start with a positive mindset. Stop complaining and stop seeing the work as a burden or difficulty. Convince yourself that you enjoy this task. For example, if you're afraid of math, to improve, as the book Make Learning Easier suggests, you must first change your belief. Think that math is not scary and that you enjoy it. Or, as Atomic Habits points out, before forming a new habit, establish your identity first. Imagine yourself as an expert in that field, and your identity will naturally guide you to overcome your fears and develop positive behaviors. This is similar to a technique Mihaly recommends, daydreaming. But this type of daydreaming is not fantasy. It's purposeful self-affirmation. Many successful people have demonstrated the power of self-affirmation. A good example is Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. When he was in high school, he was only 5 feet 9 inches and didn't make the basketball team because he was too short. His father and siblings were also of average height, and genetically, he was not expected to be tall. But he was deeply passionate about basketball, and every day he would tell himself, "I need to get taller." He kept wishing for growth and tried every way possible, jumping rope, hanging on a pull-up bar, and eating nutritious food. Soon a miracle happened. In a year and a half, his height grew from 5 feet 9 inches to 6 feet 3 inches. He easily joined his school's basketball team, started his career, and everything went smoothly. You will see that learning how to daydream in the right way, imagining, self-affirming, and taking action, can lead to success. If there is no action, daydreaming will only be wishful thinking. Effective self-affirmation must have clear goals and a step-by-step plan to achieve them. These factors will help you engage fully in your work and easily enter the flow state. The final way to help us enter the flow state is by discovering the flow within loneliness. After thousands of case studies, author Mihaly came to the conclusion that someone who knows how to find the flow state in life can still experience joy, even in the most hopeless circumstances. In the book, there is a story about a woman over 60. After her husband passed away and her grown-up children started their own lives, she lived alone on a desolate island. The impermanence of life and death, combined with the solitude, made her feel incredibly helpless. She would often sigh or cry out of longing for her husband and children, spending endless nights awake, feeling that each passing minute and second was unbearably difficult. To relieve her pain, she started reading various books she had left on the bookshelf, then wrote or sketched her thoughts. Unexpectedly, these stories and rich viewpoints led her into a vast spiritual world. In this world, she could forget about time and overcome her sadness. These wonderful experiences helped reignite her passion for life. Beyond reading and writing, she also grew flowers, planted trees, and raised animals near her home. She even used a blackboard to write humorous stories she created or drew pictures, including directions to her house. She no longer had random thoughts or was consumed by negative emotions. Her soul became stronger, and despite still living alone, she did not feel empty or helpless. This was because the flow state continuously filled the empty spaces in her soul. helping her avoid unnecessary emotional drain. Moreover, it allowed her to experience a life that developed both mentally and spiritually. At the end of life, you will see that loneliness becomes an opportunity that allows us to easily discover the flow state. Schopenhauer once said, "Only when a person is alone can they become themselves." When we are alone, we have the chance to calm our minds, focus on one thing, and enjoy the joy that comes from it. This type of loneliness is a high-quality one. However, in today's information overload era, most people do not know how to be alone, let alone enjoy solitude. When alone, many turn to their phones, watch movies, or play games to fill the empty space in their minds. Their minds remain restless with worries. The author states that the main reason for this is our lack of internal discipline, becoming lazy over the years, and our mental entropy becoming more chaotic. To counteract this, we need to focus on enjoying solitude by adding richness to our lives through flow experiences. The author mentions that most activities in life can generate flow, such as climbing mountains, baking, learning to dance, gardening, sewing clothes, or creating things from scrap. These small pleasures and hobbies, outside of our busy daily work, can become the flow that shelters your mind, soothing complex emotions and adjusting and reinforcing yourself. A person with a high ability to self-heal can rise after difficulties. Such a person will find something to do even when alone and with nothing to do. Instead of pursuing social rewards, they will focus on enriching themselves and filling their lives with meaningful moments of joy. However, it is important to enjoy this happiness without becoming addicted to it or enslaved by the pursuit of excitement. Additionally, to prevent mental chaos and reduce entropy, you need to maintain balance in your life. Remember that anything that becomes excessive will lose control and lead to negative emotions. Moreover, the author points out another way to easily experience flow: by enjoying art and increasing physical activity. As we continually enhance our ability to appreciate art, we can more easily reach the flow state. For example, listening to music attentively and focusing will cause the soul to resonate with the high-quality sound, helping one enter an optimal experience. Physical activity is also an excellent way to relieve stress. When we challenge our physical limits, negative emotions like frustration, fatigue, and dissatisfaction will be sweated out, leaving a lighter body and a more relaxed mind, making it easier to enter the flow state and uplift yourself from suffering. In the book Flow, there's a quote I really like: "Anyone who can persist through suffering and failure will have their life become an endless flow." It is a series of experiences that are focused, fully engaged, consistent, and orderly, creating immense meaning and joy from that internal order. In the process of seeking flow, we inevitably face loneliness when tackling problems alone or dealing with constant boredom. But this difficulty and hardship are only temporary. They are necessary challenges for personal growth. Therefore, set clear, specific goals, maintain high concentration, enjoy the work you do, and with patience, overcome obstacles. You will become stronger than ever with the help of flow on the path to self-development. Thank you for listening. If you find this video helpful, please share it with others who may need it. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of the latest videos every week. Once again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.